Railway historian Anthony Dawson plays 20 questions. Ready? Your 5 minute starts now.
Question 1. Why don't steam engine footplates really use doors?
They do have doors, but they're only about half height to stop you basically from falling off. The main reason why not is because the cab is really, really hot. You don't want a fully enclosed cab because it's warm enough as it is, you would basically be roasted to death.
What's the difference between a light railway and an ordinary railway?
A light railway is built and operated under the auspices of the 1896 Light Railway Act. And that was an act of Parliament which allowed railways to be built cheaply, to be operated cheaply, to open up rural areas. They had a maximum line speed of 25 miles per hour, were often single track, operated with one engine in steam, and had much simpler signalling and lighter earthworks and infrastructure.
How would guards make announcements to passengers before PA systems were a thing?
They didn't, because that wasn't the guard's job. The guard is the member of staff who's responsible for the safe running of the train. Now we think the guard is someone who makes announcements and collects tickets, but in the days of steam, the guard was in charge of the train. The ticket inspector, the travelling ticket inspector on the train, would look at tickets. When a train came into a platform at a station, the porters would be detailed to stand opposite carriages and basically shout at the station you had arrived at.
Why were engines built with boilers blocking so much of the driver's view?
There's nowhere else to put it.
When was Foxfield closed and subsequently reopened for preservation?
It closed in October 1965, and the first train in preservation was run in May 1967.
Why is Foxfield so named?
It's because when the colliery by John and Enoch Mann was sunk in Dealhorn village, it was sunk in a field called the Foxfield, where traditionally there had been a fox covert, so it's where foxes used to live.
Have you ever seen a fox here?
I have, yes, down at the colliery.
How much did it cost to open the original railway?
About £3,000, which is peanuts.
What kind of token system do we use? Why do we need to use tokens on the railway?
It's because it's a single track railway and it's operated in an absolute block where only one train can enter in a block at the same time, so you don't end up with two trains colliding head on.
Where did our signal box come from?
It came from Hockley Crossing.
Why do we refill our engines from a wagon instead of from a water tower?
Because there's no mains water to the water tower. The water tower is quite expensive, big piece of cast and wrought iron.
When was Foxfield disconnected from the main line?
In 1970.
Before preservation, did Foxfield ever run passenger services?
No, it didn't.
Who's the most important visitor or passenger the railway ever had?
I don't know.
So what was the railway used for?
The Foxfield Railway was a coal-carrying railway. It was built to carry coal from Foxfield Colliery to exchange sidings at Blythebridge.
What's the worst accident the railway ever had?
Ooh, there's been a few. None of them have been fatal on the... Oh no, tell a lie. There was one fatal accident on the railway in the 1890s when a shunter was crushed between two wagons. During the First World War, an engine named Burnley ran away from the sidings up at Bank Top, ran all the way down the line and came off the curve just after level crossing. And during the Second World War, there was an accident about 1942 when the coal train ran into a herd of cows. There was also another accident where a train ran away and smashed through the crossing gates and then came to grief, but again nobody died.
What's the fastest an engine can travel at any point on the line?
15 miles per hour.
How many crossings are there?
There is one level crossing, there is a bridge and about a dozen foot crossings and occupational crossings.
How long did it take to build the original railway?
It took 9 months.
How can people get in touch to get involved at the railway?
They can visit our website, foxfieldrailway.co.uk, and they can follow us on social media on Facebook and Twitter. So those have been some fun facts about the Foxfield Railway and railways in general. But what would you like to know about Foxfield? Come on, ask me a question.